Alright, so we need to freaking find a way to make this stronger. And I think I already tried the stick. Let me think here. Let's talk to the barkeep. Alright, nothing useful from him. Oh, he drank his beer! Finally. Anything in the barrels? Maybe, because we can only go to our house. Maybe back at our house. Clamp? I just noticed that. Oh shit. Whoops. Let's hope no one witnessed that. Well, his window's open. I need something stable to clamp it to. So you can't just, I need something stable to clamp it to. The table, right? Why do they make this so difficult? I'm gonna mess around with it a little bit. Hold on, hold on. Okay, I think I know what to do. First you use the arm, then you use the clamp. Right? Right? Oh, you're struggling. I should have said no professionals. That should keep him busy for a while. Bloody hell, your hands are tough as one. Let's go. Fancy. A long-haired nobleman. A woman sitting by a river. Ooh, private area. Let's look around here first. I don't want to disturb them mid-jam. He's ditched the bow in favor of finger plucking, and it doesn't sound half bad. He's giving the squeeze box what for? At least someone seems to be enjoying the music. Sidney Emerson. Cedric Wolfweenus. Cedric Wolfweenus III. A new addition since we last met. Provides a certain regal air I feel I was lacking before. How's life on the razor's edge? Surprisingly dull, as usual. Nonsense, you must be moving up in the world. I never thought I'd see the day where a descendant like you. Granted membership, blah. Granted isn't quite the right word. Haha, up to your old tricks, eh? I could say the same of you. Who did you have to swindle to get down here? Convincing punters that you're the Earl of Camden again? You're not far off. I've been painting a few pieces for the management. Hackneyed landscapes and the usual... I don't know what I said. That doesn't sound too bad at all. You haven't heard the best part. Go on. The booze is on the house. Sweet damn, if only I've embraced the arts in my youth. So what brings you here? You've heard about the murder the other night? Alice Fairchild, the poor girl, was here on the night she died. That's the one. I've been hired by a family member to unearth more about her killing. I suppose it's decent work. Yes, it is, Sid, and don't tell yourself any different. You're providing more than just solace. Yeah, I suppose so. What's on your mind? Did you know Alice? I did indeed. She modeled for me, as have most of the Fritt Street girls. So she worked at the Fritt Street brothel? Yes, she truly had the most remarkable complexion. I suppose she will model for me no more. Were you close? I did see her outside of modeling and the members club, and it was only in the last few months that we met, but still, the Alice I knew was always honest, warm, and very funny. Do you know much about the murder? Only what the rags said, throat slit in an alley, etc. You've heard it all, of course. Of course. I've seen it too. So, do you have any solid leads? Not really, to be honest, Sid. I trust you will soon. It was you. So you saw her on the night she died, eh? I did actually. Thought we didn't talk as she was working. Who was she with? A portly gent by the name of Jonathan Gibbs. He's in a booth at the moment, talking to another girl, Beatrice. I wouldn't think he's a suspect, though. I saw him skulking after more affordable girls after Alice had left with someone else. Who did she leave with? I didn't see. Maybe our red-faced friend next door did. What? What are you working on at the moment? I'm attempting to render the band using oil paints. There's see that. Taking full advantage of the job perks, are we? To be honest, I'd rather be painting the barmaid. Her cheekbones tell tales of countless workhouse mealtimes and water-thin gruel. Actually, it was peace pudding on most nights. Been up to anything else? Well, keep this to yourself, but I've been dabbling in the aesthetic sector. How so? I'm experimenting with new cosmetic formulas.
Cosmetic formulas? You know, powder, lip color, and the like. Some of the girls have kindly agreed to be my test subjects. And no doubt this will lead to some kind of cosmetic manufacturing empire. Remember, Sid, not everything concerns my name.
So I think that's it. I've got some snooping to do. You better not leave without saying goodbye. The bar is stocked with the essential ingredients for a splitting headache. True that. The barmaid wears a glazed expression, her eyes not quite focused on anything at all. Hello, sir. What can I get for you? I'm investigating the death of Alice Fairchild. I'm glad someone in the city is. Were you working on the night she was killed? I wish I could help, but Sally was at home on that evening looking after my poorly brother, a likely story lady. It's no fault of yours, sir. Have you heard much about the murder? Only the usual chat of the mood, and he hasn't been the nicest, though. In what way? Well, you wouldn't notice it from the hunters. A murder doesn't make the blindest bit of a difference to them. The girls have been petrified, though they try to hide it. Having to work to make ends meet, knowing that fair game for some crazed butcher. I'm sorry, I'm rambling. Not at all. Did you know the victim? Oh yes, you couldn't miss Alice with that flaming red hair and nature just as bright as her locks. She'd speak to me every time she was in, always asking after my brother's health in the kindest of manners. I shall miss her. It was jealousy, wasn't it? What else can you tell me about Alice? She was a kind woman who didn't deserve to die like that. That's all there is. And then she fell through a rabbit hole and went into Cuckoo Land. Heard any interesting news? Sorry, I tend to be in a world of my own most of the day, so I wouldn't know. Any chatter? Okay, so she don't know shit. For now. Cedric likes to dress rather dapper and achieves to look far better than I ever could. Dapper he is. Alright, let's go talk to this fellow in the next room with his latest lady. A full glass of what looks like scotch. It's Jonathan Gibbs, one of the last people to see Alice alive. Let's grab his glass. Oh, shit. Give us a bit of privacy, would you, darling? Oh, I did not mean to be... I didn't want to be bad cop, but... What do you want from me? This will be considerably painless if you let me ask the questions. Am I in some kind of trouble? Alice Fairchild. Never heard of her. I hear Millbank is beautiful this time of year if they don't send you to the gallows, of course. You're bluffing. What proof do you have? Half the pub saw you leching on her the night she was murdered. What's wrong? Couldn't you put the coin for the night, so you decided to take her by force? That's absurd! To suggest I couldn't afford a common strumpet, my wealth knows no bounds. Alice wasn't common, though, was she, Gibbs? And I think you're overstating your worth. I'd wager that you'd always wanted her, but she was always out of reach for some of your meager wealth. Meager? How dare you? I'll have you know that I felt with another girl that night. A girl far more costly than that commoner, Alice. You'd better watch that tongue before I rip it out. And which girl is this? It was Beatrice, the girl whose company I was in prior to your intrusion. If that is true, then who did Alice leave with? Why should I tell you? Now correct me if I'm wrong, but you have no further business here. Leave immediately or have word with the chucker upstairs. Alright, Mr. Gibbs, but I doubt that alibi will hold for very long. I don't know if I wanted to just slam the drink. Toilet. Anything else over here? Oh, a fellow. It was this guy. Just kidding. I keep saying it's everybody. I actually have no idea who it could be at the moment. Is this seat taken? Pardon? This seat, is it taken? Oh, no, it's not. I'm sorry, am I disturbing you? Not at all, old bean. I've seen far more disturbing things. Thank you, I guess. The name's Hamway, and yours? Sydney Emerson. Might as well tell the truth. Pleasure to meet you, Mr. Emerson. Mind if I pick your brains? Be my guest. You seem restless. Very Curious, restless indeed I am. What's the matter? I'm rather bored, you see. Time was that a man could find many a game to occupy idle hands in this establishment. You mean bar games? Yes, that's it. They used to have all the classics. Nine Men's Morris, Skittles, Darts. Pinball, can't say I've heard of that one. I'd rather exciting if you have to land a pin in a ball of yarn. Sounds exhilarating, not a fan of shove a penny. I would be if I could get my hands on a board. There's one knocking about upstairs. I'm sure the old codger wouldn't notice if you borrowed it. An interesting development. I shall have to get my hands on it. Know anything about the recent murders? Yes, it's a horrid thought that the beast is still roaming these very streets, greeting neighbors by day, slaughtering by night, sipping whiskey and conversing in public houses, one second killing the next. I drink gin, just so you know. And I beer. What manner of man could commit these acts? That is a question I hope to answer. Ah, so you are a philosopher. I've been called many things in my life, but never a philosopher. And spoken with such humility, a philosopher you are. Did you know any of the victims? I can't say I did, though I know the first three were killed around Shadwell, and the fourth at Stone's Throw from here. Chilling to think such a thing happened in this day and age. I've had similar sentiments expressed. We all act surprised, but in truth we all know it's inevitable. The city trades in blood. If it isn't spilled often, we'll be able... in the streets. Surely you can't think these murders are for the good of the city. Calm down, old bean. It's all merely speculative. It seems my judgment was too hasty. You're not a philosopher. You have the sensitive disposition of a poet. Who would you guess the killer is? To make such a judgment would take careful consideration of the facts, and we know very little. He slits the throats of women. Perhaps he has been scorned by womankind in the past and seeks to silence them. He chooses prostitutes. Why so? Surely due to the ease by which he can take their lives in secrecy. The very nature of their work is to take strangers to a private location. Perhaps, or perhaps there is a method in his madness. As you mentioned, this is all speculative. What does it matter, his reasons for killing? It matters only that he stopped. And locked away in Bedlam, or very likely hung. And what would you have them do? To kill a disease, we must first understand its nature, not simply destroy the carrier. Could we possibly change the subject? I'm sorry, old bean, I'm getting carried away again. Very suspicious. Shouldn't you be at work? If you must know, I am in between jobs. I start at the post office this coming Monday. A man of your intelligence must be wasted in that sector. True, but I tend to steal many a stamp. About the Ripper. To hell with this philosophical rant. Have you found anything to occupy your time? Return once I have that penny board, I'll give you a game. I should take my leave. Farewell, Mr. Emerson. Farewell, Mr. Hamway. Got our eyes on you. I don't need to go. Well, what if there's something... Oh. So what if there's something in there? Gibbs, I have no desire to speak with you again. Oh. I need to disprove that alibi of his. I kind of feel bad for smashing the drink, but maybe we were going to have to do it anyways. Anything else? Oh, it's that lady. She seems very approachable. Beatrice, isn't it? It's a pleasure to meet you. If it isn't Mr. Smashy Smash, I didn't have you for a bruiser. Looks can be deceiving, madam. And so polite, too. What can I do for you, Mr. Sidney Emerson? Ah, the private detective. You found my sister's lost tabby. My reputation precedes me. Can I ask you a few questions? Of course you can. I wouldn't want to deny a brute like you. Did you know Alice Fairchild? Of course I did. She was a Frith Street girl like me. It makes me sick to the stomach what happened to her. Were you friends? Alice was a friend to everyone. Not a bad bone in her body. Of course she could moan with the best of them. Sometimes to blow off steam, but mostly to make us laugh when spirits were at their lowest. Sounds like a pleasant person. She was to be jealous of. Baked me a plum cake when I was stricken by the pox. Helped me get through it. You're investigating her murder then, are you? I'm trying my best. Do me a favor, would you, Sidney? What's that? When you find that murdering bastard, give him a kick in the guts for me. It's a deal. Oh, am I gonna have to kick you in the guts? How do you know Cedric? Said he painted me as a Selim. The beau sounds rather tame for Cedric. She was grasping the severed head of John the Baptist. Well, we used to turn it, but you'd never guess from the painting. Resourceful as always. Gibbs claims to be a wealthy man. Is this true? Wealthy, pull the other one. He's been saving all month to afford me, and I'm not high charger. So I don't suppose you went home with him 3 nights ago. Heavens no, the poor sod went home alone. Albeit after babbling to me and Alice, God rest her soul. God rest her soul. He didn't have a penny on him, though he seems to have scraped together a fair bit in the last few days. You sure Gibbs went home alone? Sure as sugar. When can I find you in the future? If I'm not in here, I'll be at the Firth Street Bard House, unless I'm in the middle of something. Alright, we'll meet again. Don't be a stranger, Sidney. You had her all aflutter. Don't worry, I didn't tell her how much you really are. Aren't you a wonderful friend? Alright. Maybe now that we know he's not rich, we can confront him? Or is that not good enough? Oh, well that's a shame, Gibbs, because I have just had a word with the lovely Beatrice. It seems that you couldn't even put up the coin for her that night, let alone Alice. She tells me you went home alone, with plenty of time to murder Alice. That whore, aren't I paying her enough to keep her mouth shut? Apparently not. Now I've got a tidy little story for the first Bobby I see. Unless you can help clarify some of the finer points for me. What? What do you want to know? Alice left with a lackey that night. Who was he? I can't promise. I promise not to talk. I'll ensure you're given a nice cozy cot. And maybe an affectionate cellmate if you're lucky. All right. He was Charlie Finch's man. He was taking her back to Finch's house on Golden Square. He'll have me killed if he knows I blabbed. He paid me 12 shillings to keep my trap shut. A poor investment. Thank you, Mr. Gibbs. That's all I need to know. You can get back to whatever it is you do. Please don't tell him I squealed. He's quite shaken up. Alright. Maybe we can ask them about this man. Sydney, come and join us for a drink. Oh no. Sorry, Sid, but I've got a lead to follow. Nonsense, you're not going anywhere without a drink. I was just telling Beatrice about the time you foiled Lord Manchester's insurance case. The devious disguises and ingenious methods you employed. Sidney says you're even better than Hawkshaw, a real master of detection. Well, maybe I'll stay for a swift pint. That's more like it. That's what they want you to do. Should be doing your job. Oh no. Oh, I love it. There's a corpse afloat in London's moat. Must be the old Red Ripper. Found a girl deceased in Aldgate East. Best to call the old Grim Ripper. Will broke her neck in tooting food for the old crypt keeper. And they found a clue in Waterloo. Let's hang the old street sweeper. So, I won't dream tonight. So then is that... What? What's her funeral? I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, From henceforth blessed all the dead which die in the Lord. Even so saith the Spirit, for they rest from their labors. Amen. Amen. Like how we have this protective black box protecting us from the rain. Should you need to discuss our Lord's plan further, I am in his humble service at the Church of St. Christopher at Finsbury Circus. Thank you for coming, Sydney. I appreciate the invitation. It was a nice service, though I'm surprised by lack of attendance. She seemed like a woman with many friends. My husband felt Alice's friends would make an unseemly sight considering their profession. I see. He would have preferred if neither of us attended. Lest word spread that he mourned for a whore. Surely others must know that she was your sister. He has made it quite clear that I am not to inform anyone of Alice. Right from the moment he began courting me. Very suspicious. William is a good man, Sydney. Please don't think ill of him. He only has our best interests in mind. I assume he knows nothing of our latest agreement. Yes, he doesn't know I've hired you to find Alice's killer. I don't suppose he'd feel it's a wise use for his money. My money. Please, Sydney, he'd like to meet you. Be sure to visit me at my sister's flat when any new information arises. He could have been jealous because he wanted the other sister instead of this one. So you're a private investigator, Sydney Emerson. William Marwood. You jealous, jealous man. Your retrieval of the necklace provided much relief for my wife, and for this I thank you. I understand you guarantee complete client confidentiality. Yes, of course, this is the standard. Good, Mr. Emerson. So if I should find my or Polly's name in the papers, I shall know who to hold responsible. I am a master of subtlety, Mr. Marwood, a trait which clearly eludes you. Come, Polly, we haven't time for idle talk. I am to be in Plymouth by this evening. Have a safe journey. He was jealous. He wanted the redhead, but he couldn't get her, so he killed her. Killed her dead. I have so many theories. And it's so hard to see which one. I like how I'm just a big black. Oh no. Oh, let's look at her grave. They've given her a great plot at least. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I was no help. You spoke too soon calling me a knight, even if I was in jest, asleep like an infant while you breathed your last. You should have never saved my life. Yours was worth so much more. Oh, so sad. Alice Fairchild, born 18 April 1854, died 23. The terror wooden crosslegs proposed having a fine headstone crafted. Alright, let's go back this way. Yeah, I have lots of theories in his big black box that he's walking in. Because it could be us. It could be the sister. It could be the sister's husband. It could be all the people she slept with. Like, who the hell knows? But anyways, I'm going to end this part right here. And we will continue on in the next part. Alright, so I'll see you all later. Bye. My son steps into my house. Beat to shit.